Alright, so here we are for sideboarding. Our opponent did in fact lock us out of the game. They did figure out how to... They got another Archaeomancer off the top, and then they locked us out. They did figure out how to do it. So Standard Bearer pretty decent against recoil, I suppose. Gutshot is better against those Ravenous Rats, if that's how they're locking us, rather than with Relentless Rats, or with Chittering Rats. I didn't see any edicts, but I'm assuming they have them, so I think I want to bring in these guys. Cartouche can be okay. Dawn Charm is a tough one. It does counter edicts. We can regenerate a creature with it. I think I'll bring that in. I'm gonna bring this stuff in to start. I don't really want to fight any of their guys, I don't think that's something that's important to me. I'm gonna go ahead and bring this stuff in. And then stuff I want to take out. Gonna take out some of the expensive stuff, a mask. I think maybe I'll leave the Dawn Charm out until I see a real reason to do it. So take out the mask. Don't really like taking out Ethereal Armor. Cartouche kind of takes the place. Let's take out another mask, and then life total is not super important, so I'll take out the Armadillo Cloak. We gotta get stuff cheap against this deck that's making us discard everything and making us discard and playing a lot of counter spells. This hand is great. I'm gonna sprawl on white. Okay, next turn I'm gonna play the Ledgewalker and a tapped land. Okay. Unless I draw an enchantment I want to play on it, which I did indeed draw. So let's go ahead and do this and float white. So this is kind of the nut draw. Not completely, but this is an incredibly good draw for our deck. If our opponent leaves up Counterspell, I'm going to go ahead and play the Pilgrim. I'd rather get that countered than my mask, otherwise I'll just toss the mask down on this guy. I'm actually not sure I really want to give them value out of their Counterspell. Yeah, I'm just going to attack here. I think I'm going to play this other Boggle. They want to counter another Boggle, that's cool. Perfectly happy for them to do that. They probably will if they have a... they probably have to if they have edicts in their deck. I think I'm going to discard the mask if they play a rat here. Yeah, it's possible I should have maybe... kept some of that stuff. I'd rather discard the mask though. I should have maybe kept this land in my hand last turn. I'd rather discard the mask because I'm going to Heliod's Pilgrim and grab... what am I going to grab? Haven't quite decided yet. I was thinking of grabbing another Cartouche, but I have a lot of Edict protection at this point. But I want to get something I can play this turn, and I think it's going to be another Ethereal Armor rather than a Rancor. Ethereal Armor is just a lot more power. At least it will be. Alright. I'm not going to attack with the Warrior into the Rat, I don't think. I don't really see any reason to get our opponent any closer to edicting us out of the game. Like, they could block here and then, like, kill both of these, and then suddenly they only need 2 edicts. I don't want that to happen. So it's possible I should have kept this Blossoming Sands in my hand last turn, or not played my Boggle at all. Actually, the way their mana turned out with this Aqueduct, they couldn't hold up counterspell and play this last turn. Another unfortunate thing is if they have recoil here, they can hit my ethereal armor. Okay, they don't have recoil, so that's good. So we only have one more Ancestral Mask, but the other Ancestral Mask will be lethal here. It'll give us a +6 from itself, plus a 7. Actually, it won't be lethal. We'll be one short, even if we draw that, unfortunately. Abundant Growth is a great draw. That was probably the best draw in our deck until we hit this Terramorphic Expanse. This was a way that we could have actually had lethal this turn. I'm going to hold this. I haven't seen Chittering Rats yet. I've only seen the actual, like, things that make you discard, not things that make you put stuff on top. So if they like recoil my ethereal armor, I definitely want to discard my Terramorphic Expanse. So I don't think we're going to time out our opponent, probably, but you never know. Okay. Really no harm done there by holding that. Another Seagate Oracle, our opponent's tapped out. If we draw anything good, we get to win. Nothing they can do about it. Rancor will do it. Plunk. Alright. So that was the easy game though. That was the game where on the play I had like turn 2 hexproof creature plus edict and shrivel protection all in one. I didn't see any edicts again. I still assume they have them. So I don't think I want to take out these cartouches or anything. Yeah, I don't really see any reason to play anything else. I could like switch up the numbers on some of these. The mask might be better than a cloak, for example. Probably is. Definitely want some trample though. I'm gonna stick with the cloak. It's just not that likely, like we don't always get to have a ledge walker, you know. Sometimes we have a ground guy that we have to put our stuff on. This hand is very close. I think I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and lead off with a hexproof guy. I've got a lot of them, is my reasoning. And if he kills it with an edict, I can just play Boggle and Young Wolf next turn, so no problem there. I'm gonna go ahead and discard this Boggle. Okay. So this turn I'm gonna play. Let's go ahead and play the Ledgewalker, I think. Man, this is tough. I'm gonna get blown out by Shrivel. I don't know how many like Ravenous Rat decks are gonna be playing Shrivel. He's got a number of 1 toughness guys, but we will get pretty blown out by that. Okay, still don't have a White Saurus. Let's go ahead and play Young Wolf. Okay. I think I'm actually gonna just run my Glade Cover Scout into this Ravenous Rat. Get this off the table for Ghostly Flicker and whatnot. I haven't seen Unearth or anything like that from my opponent. They don't even want to trade. Interesting. Then I guess it was a good attack. Still gonna get kind of wrecked by Shrivel. Unfortunately, can't really do anything about it at this point. I do have to decide if I'm going to attack with my Young Wolf or not. And the answer is yes, I'm going to. This does mean we get blown out by Evankar's Justice. I'm not sure Ravenous Rat, like... Okay, they decided to block this turn. I'm going to hold this Boggle, I think. The benefit of playing it is, like, my opponent has to play a blocker, otherwise they're taking 3 a turn instead of just 2. Yeah, let's run it out there. Pretty unfortunate I haven't drawn any white sources, and I haven't drawn any like Rancors or anything either. So I'm assuming my opponent does not have Evankar's Justice, otherwise they would have blocked our Young Wolf with the Ravenous Rats. They might have Shrivel. Okay, Seagate Oracle. So we force them to tap out here, so if we draw a white source here, we're going to be in great shape. I don't have very many, but we'll be in really good shape if I can draw one. Ugh, gross. Well, it's better than no white source, but I would have rather hit like a Rancor or something, even. So what am I hoping for here? I'd like my opponent to not have Shrivel. That would have been cool. Yeah, that really stinks that I drew that. I drew my stuff like right at the wrong time. Let's go ahead and play this Heliod's Pilgrim. Okay, I'm gonna get a Rancor with this, but I'm not gonna cast it this turn. And I'll just pass the turn here. Figured they'd eventually have this, and the Young Wolf isn't terrible against it. But like we forced them to play the Seagate Oracle by playing the extra Boggle. I don't know, might have overextended. Obviously in hindsight it looks pretty bad, but like if I had drawn a Plains there, we would have won this game. Or even if I had drawn a Utopia Sprawl, like would have almost certainly won. So it's kind of a horse apiece. Might need to retool my mana base to fit better with cartouches and stuff. Our opponent is obviously holding up Counterspell or a removal spell. I'm going to go ahead and not play into it at this point. I expect they'll just kill this, even if they can, because that's what they did last turn. So, pretty far behind in this matchup right now. If they have a counterspell, I don't think we can come back at all. Looks like they probably are going to tap out for this Ghostly Flicker here. Nope, they're not. They just want the 2 cards and to hold up their counterspell. Yeah, I'm not going to play into it. I mean, obviously they have one, otherwise they would have cast this full on. I do have to decide what I'm going to discard if they make me discard. It's probably the Rancor since I have this Ledgewalker. We'll see how many turns they spend like not doing anything just so that they don't have to tap out. Ideally I'll draw another, 19 turn clock from my opponent. I don't think it's going to take them quite that long. One thing I've always wondered about Bogles decks is maybe they need to play something that boosts the toughness of all their creatures, like definitely discarding Rancor now. Like you could play a Spider Silk Armor, you could play all kinds of stuff. Yeah, I'll go ahead and play one of these out. Let's play the Ledgewalker. I'm hoping they only have one counterspell. This is a lot of mana. Is it like a Condescend? Condescend is a pretty insane card to play in this deck. Logic Knot for like 100. Logic Knot for 6. This is not what my opponent should do. They should have just exiled more stuff from their graveyard. Like now I get to do this. I mean, we're dead to an Edict, but playing around Counterspell plus Edict is not really realistic. I'm ready to sacrifice it. Okay, I'm ready to concede here. Yeah, my opponent on the BM. So let's move on to round 5.